Antifa is to blame for this week's violence, arson, and looting in both Portland and Seattle. Those acts have still not been condemned by the White House or hardly any other Democrat. Senator Chuck Grassley, though, did take note of President Biden's silence and tweeted this: "I'm waiting for President Biden to condemn the violence, the looting, the arson the last 2 days in Oregon and Washington State." So, where is the condemnation? Joining us now to discuss this is Judd Dunning, co-host of Bullet Point Nation. He's also the author of the new book, 13 and a Half Reasons Why Not to Be a Liberal and How to Enlighten Others. Judd, great to see you again.
Great to see you, John. Thanks for having me back.
You know, I love Senator Chuck Grassley. He might not, maybe it's time for him to go. He's getting kind of up there, but he's like the ultimate get off my lawn kind of senator, but also might welcome you inside for a cup of milk, too, if he does find you on his lawn at the same time. But he does have a point here. You know, the double standard here again with this violence. We are supposed to be condemning all violence, whether it's committed by the right or the left. So where is that condemnation?
Yeah, the one thing Dems are good at is ignoring what's happening right in front of them. It's like they have a big zit on their face, and we're supposed to act like we don't see it. We're like, hey, man, you might want to address that. You want to get some proactive. So we always call out what's happening immediately, what's going on. But Biden has actually done things in the past. He's called out violence, but he's done it late and when it served him. You know, what's interesting in that tweet, he did, too, because what's happening now is they're calling it immediately. People are going to sedition underneath. Like, why are we even talking about sedition? It's like this new catchphrase in the lexicon of people. It's like, oh, hey, have a seditious day. Oh, my God, that's seditious. Nice seditious coat. We're just using sedition like everybody suddenly understands the constitutional element of that. And that's how people are responding for him simply calling out the truth. You know, it's ridiculous. You know, they're actually, the signs are saying we don't want Biden, we want revenge. So they're finally showing their true colors, but conveniently after Capitol Hill.
Yes, sedition, traitor, insurrection as well, which is apparently a word Chuck Schumer's having a little trouble with today. If you've seen the clip that's gone viral already, just trust me on it right now. But you know, these are words, right? Just like racism that are supposed to have meaning, but when they get bandied about all the time, as they often do nowadays, they are diluted. And so when you actually need to talk about sedition, it doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, the big switch in the media really was racism originally, as we know it historically, or going back to the 30s when liberal was flipped over, right, in our nation. Right. There's big times in the media where we just flip words. Mm-hmm. Right now, we're flipping over violence instead of race and saying it's all this Republican problem. We're tying a whole dialogue. Big tech is supporting it. People are going into this new kind of cancel culture, hyper emotional backing of this new dialogue. It's not even true. You know, there were 14,000 arrests during the George Floyd riots. There were 80 arrests during the recent Capitol Hill. It doesn't even equate at all, and we've never been that party.
And I think that's also part of the problem here is both sides want to try to draw some sort of equivalency to what has happened. And again, you know, it's not two separate things here. It's a Venn diagram, and they're both over top of each other, whether it's Antifa or whomever. It's political violence, and it must be stopped.
Yeah, we've always been the law and order. Conservatives have always been conservative about law and order. I mean, look through our whole platform and what we support. For us to suddenly be into violence would negate the last 240 plus years. So, yeah, I agree with you. You have to have context. You know, I just wrote an article for the column there at Newsmax, and everything we can hold on to is context this year. But I do think we're going to have to go to war. They've taught us how to fight. So we used to try to lay back. I think this is going to be a very aggressive year. We're going to have to fight all these dialogues line by line, look at the logical fallacies, and keep calling out the truth like you're doing yourself, right. John.
And Judd, you know, I always have to do this nowadays because I know you were using a metaphor about fighting and everything like that.
Yes.
That was a metaphor, everybody at home. Okay,
that's
we're not
right.
And again, it's ridiculous we have to waste this time and do it, but I feel compelled to do so just because of the current situation.
Philosophically and legislatively, yes, in the context of law, we have to be obstructionists rather than fight. And that's right. That's the culture we're in today, sadly.
That's right. You know, we want to resist their agenda, but not be the resistors as they were. We're not going to scream into the air, as our sign of protest that there is a new president. We're going to put our noses down, right?
Happy warriors.
Right. Do the work. Do the work of the people. That's the only way ahead. Judd, great to see you. Thanks so much.